Hello guys, JP Mitchell here back today for another video. So I want to talk about my journey with autism and how the speech therapist was afraid that I might not ministrate in society as I got older. So let's do this, guys. So my name is JP Mitchell. I'm 24 years old. I was born and raised in Sioux here. And this is my story of how I emerged from this so-called lifelong handicapped condition known as autism. So when my journey first began, I was 23 weeks old, which is very young, very premature. And when my journey first got started, it started with, at the beginning, it was all request-in. So my story wasn't just about getting me to being fully recovered from autism, and all that. It was about how to try to get me to function and what it means to be a renowned member of society in the future and as I get older and as I grow and as I mature. So one of the therapists that I had was the speech therapist. Now, when she was teaching me how to speak, she was afraid that I might not what is the word? Ministrate to society. That means that I might not be a renowned member of the society as I grow and mature and get older. But boy, was she wrong, because all that therapy was about teaching me how to get the little language I lost, because you guys have to realize, you parents out there have to realize that my autism recovery journey, it started off slow, but then it got even quicker. So my recovery from autism was pretty quick in terms of the therapy, in terms of the treatment that we got for me, in terms of how early the diagnosis was, because that's critical, that's key. An early diagnosis for me set the stage for a miracle, right? And that miracle, I'm selling right now. Sorry, guys. I just love telling my story to you guys because it's just so beautiful. It's just so amazing for me to do this. But anyway, let's just continue on. So all that therapy in the beginning was the before footage when I was autistic. I was a bullied victim in John Muir Elementary School and Journey Middle School. But at the end of, Journey, I was pushing people out of my way, which is a way of me letting out all my pain and all my anger. But really when that all started was when I was in high school, because it was about letting out all this pain and all this anger I had built up inside of me. And that was another disorder I had. It was called internal explosive disorder, where I had this anger outburst built up inside of me for that many years, 4 to 5 years I've done therapy for. I was finally able to unrelease all that anger of me being autistic, me not being able to speak or communicate or socialize with other people, being trapped behind a brick wall of autism, being the autistic person. And now you see me a decade later in EMCS, aka Edward Mellon Community School. For me to go from a little child who was diagnosed as autistic to more of a fighter, to more of a person who stands up for his family, who fights for what he believes in, fight for what's right, well, that's what I was doing. So, as JP Mitchell mentioned, son, I was not willing to quit. I was not willing to give up, no matter how hard the therapist pushed me to get the little language I had lost before I was 2 and 3. I was determined to fight for my life. And so my autism recovery story, it takes baby steps to manly steps. So the before footage is me, getting all the therapy done, getting the early diagnosis, taking it to Journey Middle School, taking it to SUC Options for Community Living Association, aka SOCLA, getting all the gaps filled up, the communications gap, the knowledge gap, the language gap, the development gap, the socialization gap, all those gaps combined into one gap. SOCLA teaching me how to, they taught me things like how I could buy my own food at the grocery store, how I could order food, how I could get my own, ice cream sundaes, how I could buy this and buy that. If it wasn't for Sokla teaching me how to buy my own food, how to buy my own, Subway sandwiches and whatnot, how to buy my own ice cream, then I probably wouldn't be where I am today. So Sokla, thank you so much. Thank you to Sokla, aka Suk Options Association for Community Living. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for teaching me how to order my own ice cream, how to order my own food, how to buy groceries at the store and all that. Thank you all so much. Thank you to the free therapists who were able to push me and to get me to where I am today. Thank you so much. And one of the things that I did was that I took those tools from the therapist to teach myself how to control my anger management, but most importantly, to push myself out of my autistic world back into my parents' world, back into the world of normality, where I could live a normal, functional, sociable, independent lifestyle. So if you looked at me before when I was autistic, where I couldn't, where I didn't have any language or any kids play with kids, any communication, any lack of eye contact or looking someone in the eye or having a conversation, well, I got all of that back thanks to the therapy, thanks to Sokla teaching me how to communicate with the other members of Sokla, how to play with kids, and that's something I got good at, because when you see me in Sokla, you see me playing with the kids. You see me interacting with them, socializing with them, playing more with them. Teaching all the other special needs kids at Edward Mill Community School, aka AMCS, on saying that, just because you have a disability doesn't make you, it still makes you unique in every single way. So for my character, my journey in Journey Middle School was good, but the after footage in EMCS was EMCS, aka Edward Mellon Community School, was so much better, because I was speaking in full sentences. I was talking to people. I had a conversation with a younger kid who was in grade 9 at the time. Him and I were talking about who's your favorite GTA 5 character. And what I like about this is that I didn't look away. Like, I looked the kid right in the eyes, right in the face, and I gave him, full eye contact. I said, who's your favorite GTA 5 character and all that? And he went with Trevor. I went with Michael DeSanta. And then after him and I were done that conversation, him and I did a knuckle pound, right? Which was really awesome, really cool. And then I had some more conversations with, I learned how to schmooze with the girls, which is where I have conversations with girls. I started to hug my friends, hug my peers more. I became cool like my peer group again. And after that, my autism was completely gone in the dust behind me. I was no longer autistic anymore. And if someone right next to me was crying, then I would wrap them in my arms and I would hold them and I would hug them and I would say, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. I'm here to protect you. And I did that, the same thing with Michael, is I protected him from Brendan's anger. I grabbed hold of Michael and I placed him in my, I put him, I just grabbed him and I was holding him and I was shielding him and protecting him from Brendan's anger so he could not do anything to hurt my little brother, to hurt my family and all that. And for me to stand up to Brandon and say, look, man, if you touch my little brother or my family again, I'm going to, you're going to have some trouble to deal with, And Brendan just looked away, and I finished off EMCS with 150 grad students who were all amazingly talented. I was no longer autistic anymore when I was 17. And at the age of 18, I fully, completely recovered from autism. And here I am at the age of 24 at Mitchell on a mission to heal as many kids as I can from autism. Now, I want to ask you parents this. I want to ask you parents in the public whenever I get out there, is I want to know, how did you get your social worker? Did you get it for the Ministry of Children and Family Development, aka MCFD? What agency did you take your child's diagnosis to? What diet did you put your child on? Was it the GAPS diet? Was it the wheat and dairy free diet? What is your child up to now? Like, is he in college? Is he in university? All these questions I want to ask you parents. So here's my YouTube account for you parents in Souk, BC who have children with autism, John Patrick. And here's my email address at jpmitchell@autismrecovery.com. Leave a comment, look at 18 of my videos, and click on them and see what you think of them. Alright guys, without further ado, let's get this video going guys. Let's do it.